But at least they're dry.
I'm fine, Shama. Thanks so much.
You know, I don't buy this sixth person theory. I think one of us sent the message.
Prithvi, what are you doing?
Playing? We almost had the princess.
Prithvi's got important data on it. Personal data.
I wasn't looking at your data.
Still peeking at other people's examination papers, huh, Prithvi?
I haven't peeked at anybody's papers.
No. But you took a whole sheet out of my company law report in our final year.
So I took a couple of sheets, but I didn't peek.
Still 21 years old.
And what's that supposed to mean?
It's getting a little chilly in here.
I've got a pullover in my car.
What I wouldn't give for a cup of hot chai.
Something a little stronger might help.
I've got a bottle of Penny on my motorcycle if you want it.
Booze. That'll do.
You guys aren't going to start drinking now.
I don't see any no drinking signs around here.
I thought you filmy guys love booze.
How can you say that, Akash? You of all people.
How do you know what sort of a person I really am?
I knew what sort of person you were.
People change.
Look, there's some wood in the fireplace. Let's build a fire. It'll keep you warmer than the Penny.
Okay, you win. No booze.
There is a flight to Toronto at 1 a.m. this morning. I would very much like to be on it.
I'll be happy to punch a boarding card for you.
But we don't even know who called us here. Or why.
Yes, and at the rate we're going, it's going to take us another 13 years to find out.
It just doesn't make any sense. Only the 5 of us knew this message.
And this rendezvous point.
I just don't understand how another person could have found out about this. Are you sure none of you told anybody?
Not a word.
We took a vow of silence. I kept mine.
Is stealing your hairstylist coat?
Prithvi.
Just kidding. I haven't told a soul. Not even my gorgeous wife. Cross my heart.
Akash,
Do you even need to ask?
people change.
So, if none of us has told anybody, then how did this person learn of the secret message?
Just what are you trying to insinuate?
Wait a minute. The biscuit tin.
Under the banyan tree.
Damn this rain.
I've always wondered why we had to bury that piece of paper under that damn tree.
It seems childish now, doesn't it?
It meant something then.
What?
I don't know. It was Akash's idea. Let's ask him.
Akash, what did it mean?
Yes, I mean, why did we put that piece of paper inside that biscuit tin and bury it?
It was to remind us of something we wanted to forget.
What did you say, Akash, that night when we buried it?
You should remember. You're the actor.
You said, this isn't a piece of paper. This is a piece of each one of us. And then you burnt a bit of it and said,
That's Shama.
And then you muddied a bit and said, that's Prithvi.
You blew on it gently and said, that's Pavan.
I let a drop of dew from a rose fall on it. And I said, that's Varsha.
and then you held it up to the sky and said, this is Akash.
I dug it up before I came in.
But we were supposed to dig it up together. I remember that.
There's no sense in reading this up.
There is one more person who is a part of this paper. His mark is on it too. This is his blood.
Akash, you dug it up.
Alone.
That's why you had dirt all over you when you shook my hand.
I couldn't wait.
Anyway, digging it up proves one point.
What?
The words on that paper are the same as the ones received by us on our messages in the last 24 hours. That's what made us leave everything and dash down here to this guest house. So anybody could have dug it up, copied the message and buried the box again.
That box hadn't been disturbed in 13 years.
How can you be so sure?
The roots of the tree had grown over the tin.
What if someone had dug up the box and copied the message right after we buried it? 13 years ago.
Was Leo okay?
More bearable than your company.
You really hate my guts, don't you?
Where are the others?
Shama and Varsha went to look for something to eat or drink.
And Akash?
Yes! Bas Jafar! Married the princess. I'm the Prince of Persia. Cigarette? You're smoking at the ears anyway.
You still think those pathetic puns are amusing, don't you?
Look, let's get one thing straight. I'm as ecstatic, shall we say, to see you as you are to see me. So why don't we be cool until this whole thing is over and say ciao gracefully, okay? Amanda must be hopping mad.
When did you get that?
This finger? I've had it for 30-something years.
The cellular phone.
That. Couple of months. Shit!
It's a storm. You'll have to wait till it passes.
Great. There goes my marriage. Tomorrow this time, I'm a divorcee.
When did India get cellular phones?
Couple of months.
You know, on my taxi ride here from the airport, I saw dish antennae on practically every roof.
So?
So it was the first time I realized that India has satellite television.
No kidding.
It's really strange. Back in Canada, you know, we Indians are so manic about our culture, our tradition. You come to India, and what do you get? MTV culture. I was reading an article in an Indian magazine on the flight. This magazine was called Today, World Today,
India Today.
India Today. There was this huge article about television software production companies. Quite amazing. You were pretty big on television back in MII. You wanted your own software production company. You pretty much saw the boom coming, didn't you?
So?
So, did it work out?
Work out?
Yes. How's your company doing?
Look, we all had our dreams back in college. Sometimes they don't work out. So, will you give me a break, okay?
So you frittered away 13 long years.
So what? I got lucky.
Yes, you got lucky. You Never quite so witty back there in room 502.
What?
Room 502?
That's the room we shared in hostel. So what?
So, you don't remember what happened on your first night you were there?
There's absolutely nothing in here.
Well, there's nothing here either. Of empty cans of imported beer.
These are Indian.
They look imported.
You know, every time I go abroad, I'm amazed at the amount of things you find there that are exported out of here.
I never knew that.
Shama, I can't believe how out of touch you are.
I never really wanted to stay in touch. I mean, it took me so long to get away in the first place.
I heard your first marriage broke up.
My only marriage.
And then I heard you got married again to some American.
Jack. How did you know?
We had a batchmate, Cheryl. You remember her? She met you in Hong Kong. She told me.
Jack and I were lovers.
What?
He's dead, Varsha.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It wouldn't have worked out. He was married.
Oh, God. Too messy.
I know. What about you?
I guess I'm happier single.
And Akash?
What about Akash?
You know, Varsha. You two were, you know.
Shama, you haven't heard? Akash got married.
When?
5-6 years ago. He has a child, a son.
What happened? You two were so good together.
Maybe we were too good for each other.
And all these years I thought of you two, happy, together, in love.
Nice dream. You know, Shama, after we split up 7 or 8 years ago, we hadn't been in touch for a long time. I used to call him. I used to dial his number and hear him say, "Hello, who is this?" and not say a word, and wait till he disconnected. Then one day, I was shooting a film on Juhu Beach. It was my first film. Super flop. And I looked up, and there he was. And this woman, and a child, a year and a half old, playing with this huge red ball. And he was looking at me, and I at him. But I was in the middle of this stupid shot. I had to look into the camera, laugh, and spit in the villain's face.
And what did you do?
I looked into the camera, laughed, and spat. It was a one-take shot.
And Akash?
After the shot was over, I ran around the beach like a mad woman looking for him.
And?
And he was gone.
Oh.
But you know, Shama, in that split second, when I saw him, he looked so happy, so married,
I know exactly what you mean.
that I was glad I didn't meet him face to face. I don't think I could have handled it then.
And what about now?
And now I still wake up in the middle of the night, hoping to find him beside me.
It was the first day of your hostel life, yes. You weren't quite so used to the hostel then.
Who is?
And the seniors caught you in the lobby of the hostel and then dragged you up to the second floor, bathroom, to rag you.
Yeah.
And do you remember what they did to you there, Prithvi? Do you remember how you screamed? Your screams were so loud, they woke me up. I got up and came running to the bathroom to see what was happening, and there you were. Half bent over the commode, a dozen guys holding you, and, Mohan Jetli. Mohan Jetli was about to...
Stop it. Stop it, all right. So I got ragged. Everybody gets ragged.
Yes. Everybody does get ragged, but not everybody gets...
Okay. Okay. So I lost it for a little while. Now can we save and quit this conversation?
No. Because that night, back in room 502, you were yelling, screaming, and shouting like a little baby, crying about your happy days in Birla Nagar, and how you were missing your elder brother Piyush, and you kept calling out to me, Piyush, Piyush, and there you were just in my arms, and... I'm sorry. I shouldn't have raked up the past. The past. If you look at it too closely, it can blow up in your face like a time bomb. The storm. I'm never going to make that 1 AM flight now.
Probably won't take off in this weather anyway.
I don't know what we're doing here in the first place.
I have a dubbing tomorrow.
My company's in the middle of a merger. I really have to get back also.
Look, I suggest we just leave this wretched place. There's no point staying.
You're right. Obviously, this person who's called us here together isn't going to show up. So,
He has shown up.
Where were you?
There's someone else in this guest house.
How do you know that?
I was looking around upstairs, and I saw a glimmer of light under a door. But when I went in, there was nobody there.
Maybe it was just lightning. Yes.
No, he was there. I heard him.
Where did he go?
Out the window, maybe.
In this weather?
Does this mean we're staying?
We have to find out who called us here and why.
why?
Because whoever this person is, he knows our secret.
Well, if we're going to be here any longer, we might as well light that fire.
Look, I still think this is a waste of time. I mean, if this mystery person wanted to meet us, he would have shown himself by now.
Unless he was trying to avoid us.
Why would he do that?
Well, nice of him to at least leave some wood in the fireplace.
Maybe he's not such a nice guy after all. Maybe he just called us all together to get back at us for what we did.